Good day, everyone. You're welcome to this week's mathematics class for JS3. And I remain your mathematics tutor, Faith Bayomi, and we'll continue from our last week lesson topic, measures of central tendency or location. Objectives and overview of the last lesson. Our objective for today's lesson is that at the end of the lesson, learners are expected to be able to find or locate the mode of a given data, locate the median of a given distribution, find the range of a data. An overview of our last lesson. We said that the measure of central tendency describes the center of a given data. Measures of central tendency, which is also known as averages. They are the mean, median, and mode. Also that the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value in a set of data. Let's look at correction from the last assignment before we enter into today's lesson. You were asked to find the averages of 1, 2x plus 3y, 3x plus 2y, and x minus 5y. So the solution here is that, like you know, the average is to sum up all the values in a set of numbers divided by how many values you have added up. And so by doing that, you have into bracket 2x plus 3y plus into bracket 3x plus 2y plus into bracket 3x minus 5y divided by 3. You are dividing by 3 because you have 3 sets of values. So the first thing we need to do there is to remove brackets. We remove the brackets and then we have 2x plus 3y plus 3x plus 2y plus x minus 5y. Then when we collect like terms of the denominator, of the numerator, we'll have 2x plus 3x plus x plus 3y plus 2y minus 5y. At the end of the day, when you combine the x and the y together, you have 6x plus 5y minus 5y. And so the 5y we subtract 5y, you are now left with 6x all divided by 3. And then the average there is 2x, which is the answer. Number 2, 4a minus 2b, 3a minus 2b, a plus 3b, and 2a plus 4. You're asked to find the average. The same thing, add them up, remove brackets, and then you have 4a minus 2b plus 3a minus 2b plus a plus 3b plus 2a plus b, all divided by 4. You are dividing by 4 because you have 4 items in that set. Now when you bring like terms together, you are now left with 4a plus 3a plus a plus 2a minus 2b minus 2b plus 3b plus b. So when you combine the like terms, you are left with 4a minus 4b plus 4b all divided by 4. So minus 4b plus 4b will disappear because it will cancel out. That will give you 0, and then you are left with 10a divided by 4, which will eventually give you 2.5a. So I believe you have done it, and you can check the correction, check where you have made mistake if you did it wrongly, and correct yourself. Now we want to continue from last week's lesson. Last week we looked at 2 examples, so we'll continue from there, and this is our third example. This third example says in a Science test. The following scores shown in the table below were obtained out of 10 by some students. That is what we have in the table. A says find 1, the mode, 2, the range, 3, the median, 4, the mean of the distribution, and then B says how many students scored at least 5 marks. Solution I. That's number 1. The mark that appear more than the others from the table is 8. Remember, the first one says you should find the mode. We already know that our mode is the most frequently occurred number in a set of data. So here we are asked to find the mode, and from the table, the mode, the marks, the mark that appear more than others is 8 rather, because 8 appears 4 times. That is, 4 students scored 8 over 10. Therefore, our mode here is 8. 2. We are asked to find the range. The range is the highest score minus the lowest score. And the highest score there on the table is 9, while the lowest is 0. When you find the difference, your range will therefore become 9. 3. Find the median. The median is the number in the middle. And remember, in our last lesson we said when the set of numbers, total numbers given is an even number, it means that there will be 2 values in the middle, then you find the average. So if the numbers here in the table, the scores, are arranged in ascending order, from the table it says mark 0, 2 students had mark 0, that's 0 over 10. 1 student had 1 over 10. So if these values are arranged in ascending order, you have 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, and 9. Just as you have seen on the screen, 5 and 6 are in the middle. So you have the total sum of number there is an even number, and that's why you have 2 values in the middle. So the median gives 2 values, 5 and 6. So to get the median, you find the average of 5 and 6 by saying 5 plus 6 divided by 2. Again, you are dividing by 2 because you added 2 numbers. And so when you divide that by 2, your answer will give you 5.5. So it means that the median score is 5.5. 4. We are asked to find the mean of the distribution. The mean there is to sum up all the marks divided by how many numbers that you added up. So which is what is you can see on the screen. 0 plus 0, 1 plus 2 plus 2, plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, plus 5 plus 6 plus 6, plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, and plus 9. That sum will give you 99 divided by 20 because you have added up 20 values. So when you divide that, the mean mark will give you 4.95. The B says how many students scored at least 5 marks. That means the number of students that scored from 5 and above. So if you look at the table, if you add 4 to at least, you'll be wrong. The question says at least 5. That means from 5 and above, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. From our table, the number of students that scored 5 over 10 is 1, 6 over 10 is 2, 7 over 10, 3, 8 over 10, 4, 9 over 10, 1. So you add up the number of students now and not the marks. The number of students that score from 5 to 9, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. And so that total will give us 11 students. So 11 students scored more than at least 5 marks in the test. Now let's look at example 4. Our example 4 here says, the following are the marks scored by 50 students in an examination, which is what you are seeing on the screen. And you're asked to calculate the mean mark, find the median of the scores, what is the mode of the scores, and calculate the range of the scores. If you look at this question, the values here are more than what we have in the previous example. So what you should do here is to first prepare a frequency table which include the following columns: the marks, tally, frequency, and the fx. Why you need the tally is to help you get the exact value of each of those marks. So the table is right there on the screen. We have score 12, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Now you have to take note here. When you are tallying each of the score, the first number given is 12. On your book, you mark 1 and cross it out where you have the number. You have to cross out so that you won't go back to count the number you have already tallied. So this is how you do until you get to the last score. Many a times student makes mistake of counting, okay, 12. They will go to the where you have the question and count 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that on the paper or on the question instead of tallying. That method is very wrong and it can lead to mistake. And you should take note that any little mistake here can mar your solutions. So please take note of how to tally. Now if you look at the frequency table, our tally, you have 1 crossed over 4 of the tally. It means that that 1 crossed, the 1 crossed means the 5th number that you have seen in the question. So for instance, for 12, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one is crossed. So the crossed one is 5. The second crossed one is another 5. The third crossed one is another 5. So if you want to total that, that will give you 5, 10, 15. And then you have a single one. So 15 plus 1 gives you 16. So that forms your frequency to be 16. So you do that for all of the score, all of the marks scored to get your frequency. So on that table, on the last row, you see summation F under the frequency column. Like you learned in our last lesson, summation, that symbol that looks like E, means addition of all the values. So when you add up the values under the frequency column, you get 50. And then the fx is multiplying the x column by the frequency column to get your fx. So for the first one there, you can see 12 times 16 to give you 192, and that runs to the last mark 30, which gives 210. Again, you sum up 192 up to 210 to give you 902. And so to find the mean mark means that you use the formula summation fx over summation f. That is addition of all the values on the fx column, the sum total of the values on the fx column divided by the total value on the f column. So from our table there, we have summation fx to be 902, summation f to be 50. And so there the mean is 902 divided by 50, which will give you 18.04, approximately 18. So the mean mark for the question is 18. Number 2, find the median of the score. For large values, it may be necessary to use other methods other than arranging in order of magnitude to calculate the median. Hence, from the frequency table above, the median is calculated thus. Yes, when you have large value like this, you can't start arranging. That will be time wasting. So all you need to do is to total the number of frequency, number of students. So your total number of students here is 50, and so your median becomes 50 divided by 210, which will give you 25. That is, the median of these scores will fall on the 25th term when you add up the frequency until you get 25. Then trace it to the mark. What this means is that the median that you are dividing by 2, the answer you get is not actually the answer that you are looking for, but the answer you get when you divide will help you locate the median on the score. So when you have done that, go back to the frequency column and begin to cumulate. The first one on this table is 16. If you add 16 to 13, you will get 29. It means that inside 29, which is the second row, that's where you can find the 25th term. The first row of that frequency column is 16. You can't get 25 in 16 until you have added 16 to 13, which will give you 29. So it means that 25 can be found on the second row, which is 13. Then trace it to the column where you have the mark. When you trace it there, you find out that the mark there is 15. So that tells you that 15 is the median mark. So therefore, the median mark is 15. Please note here that if the total number of students is odd, that means the fx summation f, rather not fx, summation f, if the total number is odd, to get the median is that you add 1 to the total, which will become n plus 1, and divide by 2. Then use whatever you get to locate the median, as already explained earlier. Number 3, you are asked to find the mode of the score. From the table, the median mark is 12 because it gets the highest frequency, 16. So that will be all for today's lesson. I believe you understand, and I will encourage you to go through it over and over again, solve more questions, because it is when you solve more questions you will broaden your understanding. You will have questions. If you have questions, you can send it as well. So after you have done that, please take this assignment on the screen. Tolu was playing with a fair die and tossed it 30 times. The number that showed up in each toss is given as follows. These are the numbers. You are asked to prepare a frequency table to include tally for the data. Find the mode of the data, calculate the mean, determine the median, and what will be the range of the data. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the lesson for this week.